Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Maurice.
And this is WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Tony, the fans might have missed you back on January 19th. We had a little bit of snow in the Boston area, but you're going to be back Friday night, March the 1st, right here at MWF Studios. We want the fans to come down. Admission is free.
Yes, and not only that, Boston Media is the best. It's the beast of the East. SOS, simply out of sight. Often imitated, but never duplicated.
I don't think anyone could duplicate what you and I create.
No, because it's raw.
Because I'll tell you this, there's many...
No strip, just say what we think, say what we mean. It's raw.
Many people tried to copy what we did with the Iron Sheik in this studio, and they were never able to get the recipe right, so to speak.
Right. The original is always better than the rest.
Absolutely. Tony will also be available for autographs and pose photos for a nominal fee. And again, while admission is free, we want you to come on down to the TV studio. Whether you're in Boston or anywhere around the world, we need as much fan support as possible. We have great items for sale on BostonWrestling.com. We're starting to use eBay more. The more fans that participate in getting these shows produced, the more Tony will be here. I know, Tony, our goal has been to try and get you here on a weekly basis if the fans will support it.
Yes, you know, and one thing about Boston Media that it does for a lot of us legends, Vince does a lot for us, but he keeps us undercover a lot. But with Boston Media, you can get to see Tony, you get to see the Iron Sheik, you can get to see the Tito Santana, and come and meet us live and listen to some of our stories, because some of the things that we did in our younger days, a lot of it being legal today, first of all.
Very true.
But it was a different world, and I was lucky to see the old world and see the coming of the new world.
WWE isn't going to produce a 3-DVD set for every superstar they ever had under contract. That's why these types of shows are so important, especially where we lose so many legends on a yearly basis. So again, we send out the invitation to you Friday night, March the 1st, right here at MWF Studios, Melrose, Massachusetts. Check out BostonWrestling.com for complete event information. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Maurice.
And I'm Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
It took him a second.
Always does.
Before we get to this great full-length episode of Memories and Legends, check out some of our great friends you can help support the cause to keep more Memories and Legends coming your way. Infinity Key, a truly natural online language training experience. 25,000 minutes, that's what you'll need to invest. Invest 25,000 minutes with Infinity Key, and we'll build you a portfolio of language experiences designed to accelerate your personal progress. The coach will help you strike the right balance between passive acquisition and active application of your target language. InvestKey's algorithms and coaches guide you along the clearest, quickest path forward on your journey to fluency. Visit www.infinitykey.rocks for more information, and follow Infinity Key on Facebook at facebook.com/InfinityKey.
He is the People's Champion, the Brahma Bull, the Great One, and this...
Finally, The Rock has come back!
...is his story. Journey alongside the millions in this definitive guide to
The most electrifying man in sports and entertainment!
See The Rock.
It's just a man!
Like you've never seen him before.
But The Rock is cooking!
The World of The Rock. Available now.
Wrestling fans, check out the brand new lapel pin from our friends at Crimson Mask. Inspired by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, it's Bang 316. Only $8 each or 2 for $12. If you think it makes a great holiday gift, give me a hell yeah. Get yours today at crimsonmask.bigcartel.com.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
wrestling fans, welcome back to another episode of Wrestling Insiders. I'm Dave Morati, joined by Tinder's favorite patron, Mr. David Carter.
That's right, baby. I'm
tell
back.
You this, if you think he's only got a few buttons buttoned up on the shirt right now, you should sign up for that app.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of apps, we're app-free here in Wrestling Insiders. We're getting ready for a big March, a big April, WrestleMania weekend. We got the convention appearances coming up. We have the free studio taping March the 1st right here in Melrose. We got a lot of things popping.
Absolutely.
But tonight, we're going to talk about...
Well, we have the road to
Tale of Two
WrestleMania.
Lands.
The road to WrestleMania begins.
With some potholes.
Absolutely. And we're going to cover WWE Raw this past Monday. We started off because Stephanie McMahon invited the man, Becky Lynch. She came out, interrupted Stephanie. Stephanie gave her a little, talk, whatever she wanted to do. Basically, Becky told her, if you say this again, I'm going to do it. She ends up, punching her out, whatever, hurting her, hitting her in her face, attacks Steph. Steph tries to sell a little bit. It was a big mess. I didn't like it. Becky cut a good promo, but from then on, it just went downhill. These promos need to be a lot shorter, I think, because when they drag like this, it just loses my interest. And I hate saying it because I love the WWE, but they're too long, too much.
They just had a woman attack Stephanie McMahon.
I know. What'd you think? Anything good about it other than Becky? Maybe you like Becky Lynch's promo. I know I did.
If they didn't just do the same thing with Rousey the night after WrestleMania, I'd say it was pretty good.
Okay.
Where they're just repeating the same thing? No, I wasn't interested in the least.
All right, well, that's all we got to say about that. Then the first match of the night was Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey, which was totally out of the blue, and it ended up being a gauntlet match, kind of, because right after that, it went to Sarah Logan. But first, we'll go there. It was a quick.
Rhyme or reason,
there was not much to talk about it. It was just a
sucked.
quick match. Ronda won,
and then the second match, that sucked too, believe it or not.
Sarah Logan, she challenged Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan came in the ring. Obviously, that was a quick match.
Well, she's the dangerous one of the group. She's
right,
got the face
and Ronda beat her, and then Ruby Riott jumped on the apron halfway in the ring and decided not to jump down, and they went out back.
I was really hoping they were going to go through all three at that point.
And then, that's what we got. There's not much to say other than I don't understand that, but we got through that. Next, I want to ask you about this because I haven't seen you since they debuted. What do you think of Heavy Machinery? They debuted versus, it was a four-way. It was Heavy Machinery versus Rival
I saw the match.
versus Lucha House Party versus B-Team.
The little guy is going to get over as a single in the long run.
Otis or Tucker?
No, Otis.
Otis.
I just hate the fact that they're ping-ponging them back and forth. You want to know why? Because it makes the McMahons, from a storyline point of view, look like idiots, like they don't know what they're doing. Why would the McMahons, from a storyline point of view, bring up all this NXT talent and not have any idea where to put them?
Right. I get it.
Come on.
No, I know. And I think there's money in Heavy Machinery, or at least, like you said, the single one. I think they both have good. At least they have an idea of how to tag team wrestle. You know what I mean?
I mean, they have their moves set down.
Right.
They look alike. They're a solid team.
Yeah. Obviously, I like the Otis Caterpillar, like you said, the second. I think it's kind of funny. It's different. I mean, it's different. I know you don't see much in funny wrestling like that, haha. But I thought it was something because you got to remember you're playing to that PG audience, at least in the first hour, and that's when it was. So I like it.
I'll say this. I do hate comedy wrestling for the most part. With him, Otis,
it works.
It's done right.
It works, yeah. And I hate agreeing with you because I do like arguing with this guy right there. No. We've agreed on a lot, but, it's probably not all night. But for this, I do agree with him, and that is true. The Revival one, I don't know what they're doing with Revival because they win 1 week, they lose one. I don't understand
and nobody
it.
cares.
But there you go. And then we got the Zach and Kurt Hawkins promo backstage.
Good.
What do you think? Do you like putting
them together?
Right?
Again.
I thought they were great when they were the Major Brothers. They were the youngest tag team to.
Well, Ryder is more established now, and they have their routine down where they do their wrestling figure podcast, and I think the fans will be happy to see them on television.
I'm a listener to the Major Figure Wrestling podcast. I am. I enjoy it. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
And
great idea for the both of them.
Absolutely, give them something to do. Use characters because it's sick of seeing the same 6 guys every single week. You know what? It's worth it. Moving on, we had Kurt Angle come to the ring, which I was very confused with this because he comes to the ring, they end up having him get attacked, and he never says what the whole point of it was. He didn't even get out, and then after the main event, we'll get to it, but nothing happens there either. Like, I don't understand. Maybe that's the edge of your seat moment where what was he going to say, and then they don't get to do it. You tell me what you thought of it.
They never referenced it again during
right,
the match.
and that's what I'm saying. So what do you think?
Which should have been next week to have people actually be curious enough to check it out. But why not just rush through everything in the same episode?
What did you think? Anything?
No.
I mean, obviously, Baron and Drew came out, and then Braun came to his savior, and it was all out brawl. And then later on in the match, they're going to be a tag team match, which you guys, Then we had, I mean, that's all you can really say about this stuff.
It wasn't very good.
It wasn't, and that's what I hate is I like discussing this stuff, but there was nothing to really discuss. It was just put out there. We had Bayley and Sasha get attacked by Alicia Fox and Nikki Cross before the match started.
That was just awful.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I don't understand it, but I don't know.
Just an embarrassment,
But
again, they try hard. They work hard.
Yep.
They're nice human beings, I'm going to say, for the most part, for the ones that I know. It's just as far as it being wrestling, it's
Nikki Cross,
unrealistic to me.
Nikki Cross has money written all over. I think she could be
She's
good.
a good character.
She's good. She's definitely good. This was for a qualifying match for their women's tag team titles, which...
But seeing Alicia Fox do those kicks,
yeah.
Come
it was
on.
Sasha and Bayley versus Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox, obviously. It was a decent match. Nikki Cross is very good. I think she's very good. She's got a good character. She's good in the ring. She does the best she can with the girl she was working with. I think if she was even in a match with Becky Lynch or like a Charlotte or even a Ronda, I think she would do well there. Obviously, Sasha and Bayley won. They weren't going to put them over. I thought it was a decent match, but there was spots where...
didn't.
Like I said, I think it was a decent match. I didn't say good. I said I think it was a decent match for what it was. It's just a shame that Nikki Cross has to be put with Alicia. But what can you do? You already said that.
They don't have a division that's big enough for a tag team division.
Not yet. It's getting there. We got 30 women. They can.
And we saw those 30 women at the Royal Rumble when 40,000 people
some
fell
of those
asleep.
teams are good. Some of those teams are good.
Oh, yeah. Well,
but you just
we'll talk about that
weeks to come.
weeks
Anyways,
to come.
Road Dogg comes out, does the little gimmick, the our Road. What do you think? What do you think about this, him being back in Portland?
I think Road Dogg's a fun character that the fans are always going to like to see because he was around from the Attitude Era. Putting him with 1994 Jeff Jarrett, though.
Well, it's weird. They're mixing his character from the year.
From DX.
But Double J was there, too, during DX, and he's not doing his character. He's doing the 1994 version.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It just blows my mind. I don't know.
I don't know if they think Road Dogg is going to help get him over, or it's two different characters.
Now, is Double J going to be an every week character?
No.
Okay, good. Because I can't stand this singing every single week.
Now you know how I felt about Elias.
Oh, my God. No, see, that's different. This is terrible. This is awful.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You click this on TV, a casual fan puts this on, they're going to be like, what is going on right now? At least with Elias, he's sitting in the ring, dark man, just making a song. At least you have something to be like, okay, what is this? Them, you're just like, what is going on? This guy's 50, this guy's 60. Like, what's going on here? I don't know. But anyways, Double J versus Elias. Double J actually got some offense in, which should have never happened. It should have been a straight up. I think if they're going to try to get Elias over, why are they switching all of a sudden Elias a heel when he was actually getting over as a face? What are they doing?
You know what? We're going to continue to disagree on this. Elias's promo is over. Elias's chant is over. We want Elias. But much like Bobby Roode and Matt Hardy is delete Matt Hardy, once the bell rings, there is no interest from the fans. It's nothing. It's a great opening. It's a lot like, and this may, I like Godfather a lot as a guy, but people loved his entrance. They loved to chant Ho Train. But I mean, how many great Godfather matches can you recite off the top of your head?
I totally agree. I totally agree with that. I'm not going to disagree with you that far, but I think Elias, as a face, if he kept on pushing him, put him in the right matches, I think it would have been fine.
How many good matches can you think of that Elias has had that you never want to watch again?
Well, the work he was doing with Finn for a little bit, the work he was doing with Bobby was starting to be well, but then they just go away from it. I mean, and they do the matches too soon. They don't build no story. Like, they could have built a story with him and Bobby, but they didn't. They just do. They attack each other. Next week on Raw, they're fighting. Why not build to that? And they don't. And then it ruins everything.
Not that it's his fault, but just one pet peeve of mine, he hits people with the guitar too much.
That's true, too.
Honky Tonk Man did it 2 or 3 times his entire run, and you remember it. This guy does it
every time,
6 or 7 times a year.
I get it. Elias won the match. We're going to move on. We got to see your dude, Lio Rush versus Finn Balor.
And that was pretty good.
It was a good match, right? I thought so, too.
Here's my problem. Finn shouldn't be selling for him. Even they covered it well.
Because then you see him in 205 Live, yeah. I totally agree, because you have Leo in 205 Live wrestling, and if you want to build Finn as a bigger, like not larger than life, but bigger on the main roster.
A main event guy.
Right. You shouldn't have him against Leo Rushi's son, which I totally agree with.
If it was a handicap match, it would have been one thing.
Right.
If it was Bobby and Leo against Finn.
Right.
But as far as it being a straight-up one-on-one, again, like I said, they covered the ribs and whatnot, which was fine. But
yeah.
I thought Leo looked great.
He does.
I
looks
like
really
those
good.
tights that he had made.
He looks really good, and he's good in 205 Live. I know you don't watch it, but he's really good in 205 Live. His work rate is unbelievable for how big he is.
I know you didn't like the microphone aspect of it when he talked during Lashley's matches, but he's a very refreshing personality on that show. It's something different. It's something new. And it hasn't been stale yet to me, and he's been on the main roster, and I think since September.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't like it, but hey, the match was good.
What I noticed when they were coming out was he was shooting his, Lashley now is shooting his mouth on Lesnar. They kind of planted a little seed there.
Yeah.
That's a match. And there's very few matches I'd pay to see in professional wrestling.
That match, definitely.
That's up there. I'd love to see Lashley
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Lesnar.
With the MMA backgrounds, just because? Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, both guys are a little long in the tooth at this point, but you know what? They both can still go.
Right. Moving on, we had Paige return to Raw just to show a little clip of her movie that's happening.
Whoa. They put that movie with Brad Maddox on Raw?
Oh, boy, here we go.
Oh, you mean the one coming out with The Rock. Okay.
Dude,
the one
family-friendly.
The one that's based on a real story that had nothing to do with the real story. I'm sorry. I'm confused.
Fighting with My Family.
Yeah.
Which was, you guys have seen the trailer. If not, look it up on YouTube.
Oh, they've seen her trailers, all right.
Okay, anyways, we're going to go to the next thing, which I was excited for. I don't like how they're going to build it up, but I'm excited because my dude is finally going to be brought up to the main roster. The Moment of Bliss with EC3 on it. I was very happy to see him. I do not like how they're bringing him up. I think it's a waste. I think he should be coming in a way different way, but at least he's made it to the main roster.
I told you how I wanted to.
I know, and I liked your version too. Or I think you should just, why not put him in the Rumble?
No, you would have had him win it.
Right.
Him or Andrade would have been
your girls came out during it, Tamina and
Bundy
Nia.
and Stud, yeah.
They came out and talked smack to both of them.
Nobody cared.
Then Dean came out of nowhere. Like, it was just a big mess. Why not let EC3 be a serious character? I don't get it. The only good thing that came out of that whole thing was the EC3 versus Dean Ambrose match, and EC3 won.
Only thing I didn't like about that match?
What?
Should have happened next week, so they could have built it up for
Yes, and I can't disagree with that, but I am glad that they actually put him in match.
It was a good match.
If that's all they did for him for his first introduction to the roster, I don't think I would have liked that. At least he got some work, so people can be like, all right, this guy can move. He's good, I think he's going to catch on. They need to let him talk. I don't know why they don't. He can actually do a promo, and they didn't let him say nothing.
I tell you this, I thought he was good in TNA with the little English guy.
Oh,
Drake Maverick.
Yeah, Drake Maverick.
And then they have him in the spot with the Authors of Pain that's going absolutely nowhere.
And he's 205 Live's commissioner.
Right. Yeah. Which makes no sense either.
Know.
But,
EC3 won, which was huge. Moving on, we had I like this. This is something different. Mojo's backstage promo in the mirror. I thought it was something. Now, I'm not saying it's going to work. At least it's something. It's something to think where they're going to go with it. Exactly.
It's an attempt.
Anything's better than just throwing out there and having him go hype, 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 or whatever the hell he does. It's something to see where it's going to go.
You can't knock it till you try it.
Right. We'll see what
happens.
happens.
Where it goes over the next couple of weeks.
And then we move to the main event of Raw, which was Drew and Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman. It was a decent match. Kurt didn't look too bad. I mean, Braun took most of the brunt of it, but Kurt didn't look too bad. Crowd was hot for it. The crowd was really hot for it. Did you watch it with the volume?
Yeah, I watched
the
it
crowd
live.
was actually really into it, which surprised me. Usually the main events drag and the crowd's just waiting for spot. The whole time the crowd was into it, which was good.
One thing you have to remember about West Coast crowds, they can be deceiving just a little bit.
Because it's early.
Because it's only 8 o'clock.
Right.
Or before 8 o'clock.
You're right. You're right.
For us on the East Coast, for a lot of people, it's bedtime. Yeah.
The match ended DQ. Drew and Baron won.
This one I think we're going to disagree on. And I know I've agreed with you on the past about McIntyre, but these past month, 6 weeks or whatever the change has been, the presentation is boring me to tears.
With Drew?
Yeah.
Well,
and this is a guy I said on one of our earlier episodes, I would have considered him for a title match with Reigns at WrestleMania.
I think teaming him up with continuous different people is no good for him. That's the one thing that I think that does hurt him, because you know what? He could have been somebody that could have been a dark horse to win the Rumble.
Corbin, I'd like to see as much more of a darker, dangerous presentation as opposed to wrestling in, Warehouse for Men.
Right. Hey,
Why is he still wearing that? He's
yeah,
not the general manager anymore.
I don't know. He forgets.
He's a big guy. He's not in bad shape.
No, I totally agree. And that's Raw. But other than that, I don't know. Raw, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10.
I'd go 5.
5, okay.
Just because there was really nothing to it.
Hey, we're not that far. At least we're not usually, mine's way higher than yours. So
well, I tell you this, though, wrestling fans. If you thought the hot night in Portland was something, we're going to talk about SmackDown Live from Everett, Washington. Right now, we're going to take a brief time out, check in with some of our friends. Stand by.
Grand Rapids on Monday, February 11th. Monday Night Raw returns live with a massive main event after a shocking betrayal.
Oh my God!
Seth Rollins collides with Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. Plus, Finn Balor battles Drew McIntyre one-on-one. And don't miss Ronda Rousey and many more. It's WWE Raw live in Grand Rapids, Monday, February 11th. Tickets and ringside packages are available.
See the moments
Generation X invades WCW.
you'll always remember. Like never before.
Occupy Raw has taken over.
With Raw, the first 25 years, packed with rare photos, profiles of your favorite superstars, and so much more. From the very first Raw to the 25th anniversary, it's the ultimate guide to WWE's flagship show. Raw, the first 25 years. Available now.
Edinburgh. On Friday, February 15th, WWE Live returns with a triple main event as 2019 Royal Rumble winner Seth Rollins takes on Drew McIntyre in an epic battle. Plus, Braun Strowman collides with Baron Corbin one-on-one. And the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, clashes with Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. It's the WWE Live Road to WrestleMania Tour in Edinburgh, Friday, February 15th. Tickets and WWE Superstar Experience packages are available.
Wrestling fans, welcome back. It is a great time to be part of Boston Wrestling Sports. All the fun, unique, different things we have happening this winter, spring, and summer.
A lot of stuff going on.
Some plans we haven't revealed quite yet.
Not yet.
You're going to have to stay tuned.
But it's coming.
Just like just like you on Tinder. But coming right now is the review of WWE SmackDown Live.
From this past Tuesday.
Everett, Washington, a great city.
Yes.
I like Everett, Washington.
We kicked it off with a Charlotte promo. What's new? From now on, I'm just going to say, what do you think it was? A promo. Charlotte promo. It wasn't bad, and then Becky came through the crowd. And I did like how Charlotte did point out, now you're stealing from Roman Reigns coming out the crowd. I kind of thought that was a nice little jab. Triple H came out, and then it just got a big mess after that. I lost interest. Once Triple H came out, and I don't know. He kicks Charlotte out of the ring, who's supposed to be there, but lets Becky stay and just tells her, you're not supposed to be. When he was already telling her to leave. So you got to... I don't know. I got confused.
At this point with her, I thought she was going to steal a page from Shane O'Mac. I thought it was going to be like September of '97 in MSG, and Becky was going to stun Triple H and then be taken out by the cops. But they didn't quite go that far.
Okay. Yeah. She slapped Triple H.
Triple H should not be selling for the women.
Yeah.
It was one thing to do it for Ronda Rousey, not for all of them.
Yeah. Definitely agree. But the promo, like I said, it was decent beginning and then just got out of hand again. Too much time. It takes too much time. That was almost 20 minutes.
I think overall it would have been a much better presentation if it was half the time.
Yeah, it was 20 minutes. It was 8:19 when they went to commercial.
The content on paper wasn't that bad. It was just spread out way too long.
Yeah, totally agree. And then we got the first match of the night, which was my tag team, which I hope they start using more, was the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Nakamura and Rusev, which isn't a bad team together either. I don't mind.
I actually like that match.
Yeah, I don't mind. Very good. I have it written.
Gelled?
Yep.
Yeah, I was surprised I liked it.
But this is where I think you need to put Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson over on these matches because they're never going to do anything other than just lose, be on these random matches. This could have started something to make them valuable again. But
I think you have to say now 3 years in, WWE doesn't believe in them enough to put the full hype machine behind them.
Yep.
And that's their decision. It's their company. But
absolutely.
I think there were a lot of fans that would like to see more of them.
Yep.
And used in a more efficient manner.
Yep. Totally
more
agree.
More threatening, more dangerous. Luke Gallows is a big guy.
And we had the next match was Mustafa Ali versus Randy Orton. But we
really
can talk.
Like that one.
First thing I have is Ali's getting a push. What do you think they see in him other than the mask like we were talking about?
To me, that's the thing. He's young. He's fresh. He's something new. They know they need something new right now. And that he's done a great job in his overall presentation. I don't know who came up with the idea with that little. What is the mask itself, actually? Is it like a DJ mask? Or?
I don't know. When he showed it, it looked like it was like a, like a Mortal Kombat thing like that and had little lights.
Right, right.
It's just cool looking, and it definitely shows a good...
If he continues to be positioned like this, I can see lots of little kids at those
wearing
shows
that thing.
with the thing over their face, and that could make him and WWE a lot of money.
The thing that sets him different, too, is he's a great worker. That was a great match with Randy, even though, did you see his eye?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's bad. He got kicked right in the eyeball. But, yeah, he works great. Obviously, I don't know, I think they're pushing him, which is good. It's different. I didn't see him when he first came in. I thought he was just going to be there for a couple weeks and then they'd forget about him. But, no, he's done well with the position he's gotten. He's one of those guys that's actually done well with the spots he's given.
And even though he hasn't won every week, it's not an example of, well, we'll try it for a week or two and then just forget about it.
Right.
They've kept him strong since they said, you know what, we're going to start to push him.
Right.
And I think that's a good thing.
And the big thing was the Randy Orton RKO. That was an awesome
spot.
That was really cool. I thought that was good looking. And then at the end, obviously, Samoa Joe came out and attacked Randy, which I'm glad they're not killing off Samoa Joe. I thought he was going to be lost again. But they're bringing him back in. He got the, what's his chokehold called? The Coquina Clutch. I thought that was good looking Randy. I don't mind it. I think that's good. Keeping them fresh, and it's different than Raw. Definitely different view on Raw. SmackDown is definitely a different show than Raw, I think. The promo beginning, no, but then the matches are different. Like, they just have different vibe to them.
Yeah.
Moving on that, we had DB came out with a huge pop, but only because he was in Washington.
Oh, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan. Sorry. I shouldn't use his DB. I shouldn't use that then.
He could stand for something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dutch boy and
they
still
were in
other things.
There you go. They were in Washington, so he came out to a huge pop, and they loved everything. He couldn't do no wrong there, so it's hard to talk about the new title belt. We'll notice more next week if he gets the heel pop or not, but they loved him there. I want to just talk about the title real quick. The promo really didn't do anything for me, but what do you think the title belt?
Stupid. It's not going to get over. They've castrated Daniel Bryan as a guy that was over with the fans and selling lots of merchandise to a guy that is presented as an idiot. And granted, he got a great reaction in his home state.
Yeah.
Long term, as it was seen at the Royal Rumble, absolutely nobody cared. Okay. He's not presented as dangerous. He's not presented as a cheating heel. He's just kind of presented as an eco-friendly millennial that isn't all that likable. I don't know who and I think you can find the good and the bad in everything. But when you sit there and can you say, is this turning more fans off than it's turning on? You're doing something wrong.
Right.
Now, are there ways they could turn Daniel Bryan into a way where he's more over as a heel? Maybe. I think they've put Eric Rowan in a dangerous place because this eco-friendly Daniel Bryan is not going to last long. He's over enough where he can still come out of it. Eric Rowan is not over enough strong to come out of it. No. Having him talk using big words like that, like he's now this sophisticated Wyatt, it's ineffective. Yep. It's castrating the man.
Absolutely. From there, we had the qualifying match for the women's tag team titles. It was Naomi and Carmella versus the Iconics versus Sonya and Mandy. It was a decent match.
How could that match have been that long?
I don't know. It was a long match. It was a decent match, but it was nothing to go home about.
Tell me anything other than it ended eventually.
It wasn't bad. It was not bad flowing, and I mean, you got to give them credit, man. They're trying. They're just thrown in there.
But you know what? There's one thing about, I could go try to play for the Boston Red Sox and give them a great effort, but I'm not a Major League Baseball player. I know a lot of people are going to hate it being said, but a lot of these women that are on national television are not very good professional wrestlers.
I get you. Well, anyways, Mandy and Sonya won. I mean, we're not going to go get into it. I mean, other than that they won, they're going to be in the Elimination Chamber, which I think is a kind of a cool concept to see.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. At least they weeded out and they picked the best.
I hope they eliminate me before it starts.
All right. And then from there, we had the main event, which was Daniel Bryan versus Jeff Hardy, which was a great match. Great match. Obviously, it was a DQ finish with what's his name, Eric Rowan getting involved, and then everybody came out that's going to be in the Elimination Chamber match. It ended well. I thought it was a good finish. At least they finished strong. That was a good way to spend
It did have a nice, I think they overdid it a little bit. I would have maybe eliminated the part where AJ got involved.
Okay.
Because you're trying to keep certain guys strong going into the match, and then AJ lays everybody out.
Right.
I think they could have kept it more simple, as the old Jake Roberts saying was less is more. And maybe they could have, how many more SmackDowns do we have until the pay-per-view? Just one more?
Yeah.
Maybe gone and involved everybody in the last segment of next week's. Yeah. But you know me, I like to push everything off to next week. I'd rather see the matches built up better. I'd rather see the vendettas built up better. But as far as the match itself goes, I thought it was really good. But I just can't get out of my mind that this is now a man that talks about plants in a safe planet as the world champion. And it loses me.
Right. I agree with that. I don't really like the eco-friendly Deborah. I want him to be a heel, but this is not a good way to put him as a heel. This just is confusing for a lot of people. A lot of people don't understand it.
He almost reminds me of one of our crew members, the little Dutch boy, who's also a man of nature.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah. He'd appreciate that title.
But that's SmackDown.
All right, well, wrestling fans are going to take a brief timeout, even though there we go. There we go. We got a new guy in the back in the control room, brother. We appreciate it. We're going to take a brief timeout. We'll be right back to wrap up the show.
You think you know your favorite superstar? Did you know about Sasha's favorite cousin? What about AJ's tattoos? Chris Jericho's expensive taste? No. You need the book that has everything you want to know about more than 200 of your favorite WWE superstars. It's the WWE Ultimate Superstar Guide.
New Orleans. On Tuesday, February 19th, WWE SmackDown Live brings you a night of thrills as AJ Styles collides with Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. Plus, anything goes as Asuka, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch battle it out in a triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Also see Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, and The New Day. It's WWE SmackDown Live in New Orleans on Tuesday, February 19th. Tickets and ringside packages are available.
They're ready to take their rightful place amongst the literary greats. Who, you ask?
The New Day!
That's who. It's the Book of Booty. Shake it, love it, never be it. It's the feel-good story of the rise of the New Day. Loaded with games, trivia, coloring pages, and so much more. The Book of Booty. Shake it, love it, never be it. Available now, online, or wherever books are sold.
All right, wrestling fans, that was Raw and SmackDown this week. I thought SmackDown a little bit better than Raw. I didn't really care for either one of them.
Like I said, I think SmackDown definitely was the better show this week. I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10.
You got to be kidding me.
No, I think it was 8 out of 10. Other than the women's match.
I'd give it 6 or a 7.
Let's say we're close. It's not like you're like a 3. Hey,
definitely not an 8.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
You won't remember anything that happened next week.
Oh, I will. Other than the women's match, I think everything was pretty good. Some segments were long, but I'm not going to judge it because that's just how they wrote it. But the segment had a base to it, at least, to me. But anyways, despite what, that was SmackDown and Raw.
All right, for Mr. Tender over there, I'm Dan Marati. We'll be back with even more episodes. We've got the headlines we're going to talk about. We've already done an episode that you may have already seen where we discuss the Royal Rumble and NXT TakeOver. A lot of interesting personal insight in that episode. Plus, we got everything going on with Tony Atlas. Every Monday in the month of February, we're going to look at a different African-American superstar for Black History Month that is not enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Then on Elimination Chamber Sunday, we're going to have a big, full-length Memories and Legends where Tony and I look at some of the great African-American superstars that have been enshrined into the WWE Hall of Fame. We had a lot of fun with that episode. And again, Tony will be here with us Friday night, March the 1st, free admission. Come on down. Tony will be with us at Mohegan Sun Saturday, March the 2nd, and then at WrestleCon, WrestleMania weekend, we take over Times Square. What an adventure that's going to be. And we got a lot of things in the works, but you know, we're going to rip it. If you want to know, join us on the Patreon just for a couple bucks a month. You get so much great content. Plus, with these episodes, it's full screen. I mean, the women, they can't get enough of seeing you full screen, brother.
No
Early
way.
access and ad-free. All right, well, for Dave Carter, I'm Dan Marati. Till we speak again, folks, you and yours, be well.